But we will start this meeting very soon. Thank you.
Aren't they? Yeah. You can go.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Debbie Ojeda, Commissioner. I would like to call to order the Pinole Community Services regular meeting, and we are going to take a roll call. Take it over, Jeremy.
Okay, roll call. Darren Clark. Here. Bob Kopp.
Here.
Christy Lamb Julian. Laurel Martin. Debbie Ojeda.
Present.
Nicholas Taylor.
Present.
Staff, myself, Jeremy Rogers. And Maria is not here. Letitia is here from Public Works.
Okay, thank you, Jeremy. I'm now opening up the public comment period. Please use the raise hand feature if you are connected via Zoom, or press 9 if connected via telephone if you would like to make a comment. Please note that you may need to unmute yourself once called on to speak. Please state your name and the city of residence. Each speaker will have 3 minutes.
Do we have any public speakers?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Please proceed.
Yes, my name is Anthony, and I'm a longtime resident, senior citizen of over 40 years in Pinole. And I had a few comments to make and questions. What has happened, if anything, to the late great Dean Allison Memorial plaque that was supposed to go up above Amber Schwartz Park? I can't recall. I think it's on Savage Road Drive or Road in Pinole. They had a big ceremony with the last mayor, Vincent Salimi, and some other city officials and the public works people and maybe the parks people. I believe it was last year, over several months ago, and they said the plaque was being made as they spoke, and they unveiled a fake plaque. But the last few times I've been up there, walk around the park with my dog or looking for the plaque, I couldn't find it. So I don't know if it's there or it's hidden under a rock or behind a tree, or specifically they ought to redo the ceremony and take a picture of it, if anything else, to let the public know to dedicate the well-deserved Dean Allison's in his memory. Secondly, along those lines, Dean Allison spent a lot of time helping design and build out the Kaiser Center, the Sprout Center, and prior to that, the Trader Joe's Shopping Center. And he put up all those nice street lights and lampposts in his work up and down Pinole Valley Road. And I wondered, it's a public health and safety issue that's been ongoing for months, if not a few years now. Why is the city not being more proactive to get out and change out the light bulbs, if not call in PG&E to help them do it? They can't keep passing the buck to PG&E or dark nights in a rainstorm. Case in point, the last person, Jamie Allred, had an infomercial on there saying they wanted the citizens to go out and report it. Well, we called in to the Public Works Department, the City Code Department, and the citizens went out there several times, and there's still a dozen light bulbs that are out, including 2 or 3 major light poles that have been destroyed by some erratic driver up and down Pinole Valley Road. Not to mention the lights are out on Adobe Road, on the turnabout at the end of Adobe Road Court, in the Barbecue Grove across the way. The walk lights are out in the City Park.
Sir,
Barbecue
your
Grove.
time is up. Did you hear me? Okay, I guess he heard me. Can anyone comment on the Dean Allison plaque? I believe it was just recently finished.
That is not Community Services Department, but I can find out. Public Works might know anything. Nope, I'm being told no, so I'll have to do some checking. I don't know anything about that.
Well, I think our Rotary Club will have the most information, so I'll check on it. And I'm not aware about the lights.
Citizens are calling in for streetlights a lot, and they end up on the repair list. So there is a queue, of course. And as far as I know from Joe Bingaman, they are tended to as soon as possible, but it is true that the list is probably very long, and during the rainstorms, it wasn't possible to actually, it was too dangerous to go and change the lights, but I note that it's definitely being tended to.
Thank you, Leticia.
I can give you the information about the poles, because my company's the one that puts them back up after they run them down. And the poles have been ordered from Public Works for some time. And right now, when we order a pole for any of our projects, it's getting close now to 6 months before we get a pole in. And the bad thing about the wait is one thing, But if you get a price on a pole today and it doesn't ship for 6 months, the price they gave you for that price of that pole will change because they don't know how much it's going to cost for them to ship it. And most of the poles, PG&E type and state type poles are made in Nebraska. And so it's really hard for even a contractor to get a price on bidding a job if you don't know what it's going to cost you when it's delivered to the project. But I know the ones that are knocked down, the decorative poles that are knocked down, I was told that they've been ordered right after we went out there. So I think we have 3 of those decorative ones that are out of service right now because people ran into them.
Thank you, Bob. Okay, and now we have our next public comment. I think we have 2 more public comments.
No one else has a hand raised?
Okay, then we'll move on. Okay, so we have old business. And I'm gonna hand that over to Jeremy.
And I'm gonna pass the baton to Leticia, and she's gonna talk to us about dumpster day.
So I wanted to share the metrics for dumpster day. There were a total of 8 hauls. That was on October 1st of last year with a total of 17.15 tons of trash. We had 75 trucks show up, 29 SUVs, 44 sedans, 24 vans, 2 U-Hauls, and 1 Jeep. The date for this year has already been reserved and locked in, and it will be October 7. That's a Saturday. And that is the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Leticia. And community outreach engagement. Does anyone have anything?
Okay, so our last meeting, which was in October, we talked about the commission talked about their outreach programs. I believe each commissioner has a school that they are working with. So do commissioners want to speak to that individually on how that relationship's going?
Well, I'm going to be working with the high school. As soon as we get a date for Community Service Day and some of the other events, I'll stop by and talk to the principal so we can get a hold of the Interact Club and some of the other students that participate in functions like this for extra credit.
Thank you, Bob. And next we have, I believe, Nicholas and then Aaron.
Last meeting, I couldn't get on Zoom. So I was not able to, I did not hear about the part about the school, but I can, my children are staying involved in WCC USD, so I could probably look up a local school and contact their admin staff and pass on the news of dumpster day and other such events. So I just look one up and find and get in contact with them.
Thank you, Nicholas. Aaron?
Yeah, I'll echo Bob's comments. I didn't have anything specific to approach the schools with, but maybe when we get our community service day picked out, that's a perfect opportunity to go down to the schools and advertise the day to the kids.
Thank you, Darren. And that's ditto for me. I just left a message at Collins School, and I'd like to set up a date after we have our date for Community Services Day, the Community Service Day set up. Okay, and now we'll go, if there's no other old business, we'll go to new business and turn it back over to Jeremy.
Okay, thank you. Last month, I presented to the Pinole City Council about doing a sister city program. Our former mayor, Vincent Salimi, was very interested in doing a a sister city program. And so I researched it and then came and presented to the council. They, throughout that discussion, they asked me to come back to this commission and to get your guys' opinion. They feel that this would be something that they want a feel of what the people want. So I'm going to present to you guys the exact same thing that I presented to our city council. So I'll go through it and then we can discuss it. Let me figure this out. Okay. So as I talked about, council requested an agenda item to discuss developing a sister city program. Council, particularly Mayor Salimi, was approached about partnering with a city in Ukraine as well as a city in France. And then I introduced what a sister city program is and asked for feedback. And the feedback is why I'm here. What is a sister city? A sister city arrangement is one in which two cities, usually located in different countries, establish a formalized relationship to exchange ideas and collaborate for mutual cultural and possibly economic advancement. The purpose of a sister city is to promote peace through people-to-people relationships. Sister Cities International is a nonprofit organization. It was founded in 1956 by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, and the mission was to promote peace through mutual respect, cooperation, and understanding, one individual, one community at a time. How do sister cities begin? So, for example, here, Mayor Salimi was approached by individuals from both France and Ukraine to do a sister city, but other times cities can and often do create their own criteria and requirements for what a new sister city looks like. All sister cities are formalized by an agreement between the two mayors or highest elected or appointed officials. Sister city relationships may develop from a number of sources, including pre-existing mayoral relationships, as in Vincent Salimi's, Mayor Salimi's example, trade relationships, historical connections, ancestral or demographic connections, shared geographic sector challenges. So, for example, we would partner with a city that's similar size, similar issues, that kind of some of the same things that we might encounter, they would as well. Faith-based groups are another way that these begin. And then personal experience ranging from study and work abroad to marriages. I read a story of someone was married to a mayor, but that person was from another country. And so they partnered not only as a marriage, but also partnered, their two cities partnered together. So that'd be interesting. What do sister cities do? I talked about cultural exchanges, so arts, music, traditions, customs, and performances. Youth and education is a huge piece of being a sister city. Study abroad opportunities, virtual exchanges, learning opportunities, and leadership building for students. Community development, municipal and technical exchanges, best practices, policy exchanges, staff development. So from a staff standpoint, I would look at what they do in their parks and what they do in their community and see how we could maybe, no reason to reinvent the wheel. And it's okay to steal and share ideas. Another example of what a sister city does is business and trade. Trade delegations, business incubation, and import and export assistance. Service opportunities. Many sister city programs do humanitarian or development work. That includes, but is not limited to, disaster relief, medical missions, nurse and doctor exchanges, provision of supplies, funding to hospitals or clinics, water and sanitation projects, educational partnerships aimed at development or health, and municipal exchanges in fields such as sanitation or health management. So, City of Pinole, through my research, I tried to find if we had any sister city relationships. I found an article in the LA Times from 1993 that said that we were the first city in the United States to have a sister city partnership with the Hoopa Indian tribe. Since I did this presentation, we have reached out to the Hoopa Indian tribe, and they knew nothing about it. So the people that did from the city, as well as the people from the Hoopa Indian tribe, they have all gone on. And so no one really knows nothing was ever done with that relationship. So I think it was just a paper but if we do develop into a sister city program, we want it to be more than just a piece of paper. So in October, council issued a proclamation to support Ukraine. Staff has had conversations with Ukrainian officials about potential sister city relationship. France, council offered a proclamation in honor of Bastille Day. Little discussion has taken place about specific opportunities. So we have not talked. We've had more discussions with Ukraine than we have with France. So this is where I turn it over to you guys. I'd love your feedback. Your feedback that you give me, I'm going to take to our city council to say, this is what the Community Services Commission directed or gave me guidance of what they would like to see in a sister city program. So I will turn it back over to Debbie if you want to kind of organize it. Just give me your thoughts.
From myself, I think it's a wonderful idea, and I think it gives us we'll have a good feeling, and I'm sure our sister city would, about working together on whatever issues we decide to. And I really like the idea myself. How about Bob?
Well, no, like you, this is the first I've heard of this. And right now I don't have any ideas. I have to think on it and see what I can come up with maybe to help you and everybody else make this project work.
Thank you, Bob. How about Darren?
Yeah, I love the concept of a sister city and, reaching out to fellow, especially similar sized towns in other countries and see how they're doing municipal work and how we could exchange ideas. It seems only positive. That said, yeah, you're right. This is the first time I've kind of considered or thought about it. But on first opinion, I love the idea. I don't know the specifics of how we could support that, but from a general way, I support the idea of reaching out and supporting another community out there.
Thank you, Darren. And Nicholas, did you have anything?
This sounds like a lovely idea. My only thing is, I just want to make sure it's not just on paper that Indian tribe of 93. Wait, you guys exist? We have a sister relationship? If we do this, I'd like to use something more than that. It's a great idea, and I'd love to hear the details as they become available. So,
Thank you. Is there anyone else? I don't think so.
Okay, thank you guys for all your comments. I've taken notes, and I will take that back to the city council. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeremy. Very excited about the idea.
You have a public speaker?
We do? Okay. We have a public speaker. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Raphael Vetz. I'm a resident of Pinole. And I wanted to just make some brief comments about this item, mainly I guess my question is to Jeremy here, you know, what is the city looking for from the Community Service Commission with regards to this item? Is it suggestions on which cities the city of Pinole should be looking to partner with? Is it what types of things the city should be focusing on, like cultural exchange, medical exchange, scientific exchange, you know, like logistical exchange, or is there something else? Because just asking for general input seems like a bit of a diffuse field of inquiry, as it were. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Raphael.
Thank you, Raphael, and I'll comment to that. And at this point, we're just looking for feedback. We are not, we're looking for broad ideas. We're not looking for any specific cities, because we talked to the consulate of Ukraine in San Francisco. They've kind of identified some cities that are similar to us when we talk to them. So we're not really looking for specific cities. I think once we do have cities identified and once we start talking about how that relationship works, then we will come back and ask for those, what kind of ideas can we do in this partnership. But for right now, just wanted to get a feel of the group, if what kind of direction they would like to see this go. And then once we get down to get it narrowed down more, then we'll get into the weeds and get more details.
Thank you, Jeremy.
You have another hand raised now?
Okay, go ahead.
Caller, go ahead.
You hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Yes, this is Anthony, longtime resident of the city of Pinole and other cities like El Cerrito, San Francisco, Berkeley, and a city in Marin previous to my 40 plus years in Pinole. But I echo Mr. Menace's last comment, and I think we should get more information. And 2, if not 3 of the city council members, if any one of you flash back to their last meeting, they had some questions and concerns, but did vote to do an exploratory project here with regard to that. But I don't think they're not cities. The city, Ukraine is the country and France is the country. So that needed to be clarified with Mr. Jeremy's presentation. And I believe the city mayor at that time, Vincent Salimi, he approached them. They didn't approach Pinole. And 2 of the city council members wanted to know what it would end up costing the city, if possible, because the city already has limited resources, i.e. Limited staff time to do their own in-house projects or projects on the CIP and other things. And the finances involved with regard to budgeting and things like that. So again, we don't want it to just be a thing on paper. And we're not a big city. We're not like Oakland or San Francisco or San Jose. I believe San Francisco has a city sister arrangement that's been going on for decades now with one of the cities in Japan. But we don't have those kinds of budgets or staffing and resources to do that in a positive way. But that being said, I think we should do more investigation and get more feedback from the public as far as making any kind of future commitments to staff time and sacrificing other projects that we need to take care of for our infrastructure and other things in our own city of Pinole. But I would rather just pass that information along back to the city council And Mr. Salimi is not here anymore, so we'll get the feedback from the new members of the council and staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we have on the new business 2023 community event schedule. Do you have that, Jeremy?
That should have been attached to the packet. Was that attached to, did you guys receive that in your packet?
I don't see it.
Nicholas or Darren, do you have the 2023 community event
I'm
schedule?
looking for it right now. Give me a moment.
I appreciate it.
Maybe it didn't print out.
I can look it up. I need to blank out my screen to do so. So give me a moment to look at it.
And then I see that the egg hunt is listed here too, but I don't have that in my packet either.
I'm going to speak to that.
Oh, well, should we go on down to that while Nicholas and Darren are looking?
Okay, I'm looking at the packet that Maria sent out and it is not on there. So we will pass that on. We will discuss that next meeting if that's okay.
Yes, please. And we can go on down to the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, just to say, that's my finding too.
Perfect.
I've got the packet, but I don't see that attachment.
Okay, so moving on to the Easter egg hunt. The Easter egg hunt will be Saturday, the 25th, March 25th. We're actively planning it. We are working with the police department to put that on. They will have the explorers out there. So we look forward to that event, and we're still in the planning stage. So the main details, it'll be on Saturday, March 25th. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know.
Thank you.
Will there be community vendors present? Or will it just be the eggs from the PD?
It will just be the eggs. We're not going to have any vendors this year.
Okay, well, if there's,
Got it. Thank you.
is there anything else before we adjourn? Our next meeting I see is going to be on February 22nd.
Jeremy, so is to take care of the whole thing? Are we supposed to be doing something to help for the Easter egg hunt, or how is our involvement with that?
The police department has volunteers, but we would like the commission to be there to help support it. And I'm sure there'll be numerous things to do the day of. One thing that we really want to make sure of this year is that we're going to have three sections for, three different age groups. And so it's going to be taped off so that the big kids aren't stealing eggs from little kids. So we need volunteers to make sure that the big kids aren't stepping over the caution tape and stealing little kids, smaller kids eggs. So that will be we would love to have the commission, as many of the commission there as possible.
That's a really good idea, Jeremy. Does anyone have anything else before we adjourn? Okay, well, let's adjourn the meeting and meet again on February 22nd.
you then. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, Debbie, for sharing the meeting today.
I did my best.
You did wonderful.
Mm.